Hey everyone, I'm Kel, and today we have a pretty interesting video here. It's going to be a quick one, but I figured I'd like to share it with y'all because I thought it was really cool. I was searching through some of my old stuff, and I found this old, dirty, beat-up deck box that I used back when I was a kid. Man, this must have been middle school. It had to have been like middle school or elementary school. Probably even, I don't remember exactly, but this is my old Yu-Gi-Oh deck. It has been forever since I've looked at this and played with this. I actually cracked this open the second I saw it and looked at it, but man, there is a lot of nostalgia and beat up old cards here. So we're gonna talk about Yu-Gi-Oh today. We're gonna open this up and we're just gonna take a look at my old Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Deck, only one deck here. But yeah, just look at this old Ultra Pro deck box. That is a sign of the times there. We're gonna set that off to the side. Here we have my deck. Well, most of the deck here. We'll talk about the deck in just a second. I have these cards. They're not exactly like my sideboard. We'll talk about these ones in a second too. Let's just show off the extras. These are just some of the extra rares and other cards I was considering for my deck. That was just kind of in the deck box. I think it was just kind of extra rares. I think my brother actually has the rest of our collection, because we actually both started Yu-Gi-Oh right when it came out. I had the Kaiba, I had the Yugi starter deck. He had the Kaiba starter deck, the original Kaiba and Yugi starter decks. Mystic Tomato, Opticlops. We were actually really into Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember when cards like Opticlops were like a big deal. Look at this, it's a rare 1800 attack. And the cards have not aged well. Look at the bending here. A lot of these cards are going to be on the first couple sets. What says PSV, the Pharaoh's Servant, I think was the name of the set. And then we have some other weird ones. I always thought this one might have been a fake. Just look at the foiling on it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Got Jaugen. We're just gonna go through these really quickly. Man, this is so nostalgic. I do have some cards in here. Oh, Thunder Nan Nan. Back in the day, 1800 attack was the attack to beat. And then they printed mechanical, I forgot what it's called. It had 1850 attack. So it beat all of the other 1800 attack cards, and then they started printing the 1900 attack card, like Vorse Raider and Gemini Elf, I think was it. I don't have any Gemini Elves or Vorse Raiders, but Thunder Nyan Yan was kind of like that, but it was worse because it died if you didn't have any other light dudes. Dark Mimic, Shield and Sword. This is an OG Shield and Sword from Metal Raiders. Got a couple Witch's Apprentice also from Metal Raiders. Man, look at the beat upicity on this thing. So my deck here, little spoilers, it's a dark type deck. Well, sort of. It's more of a fiend deck. Oh man, look at this beat to hell Reaper of the Cards from original Legend of Blue Eyes. Armed Ninja, Lesser Fiend. Here we have some fiends. Like I said, it was a dark fiend type deck, and so the 1800 attack fiends were pretty good for my deck. Lajin, the Genie of the Lamp, or Mystical Genie of the Lamp. This card was really good because he had 1800 attack. This was a good card back in the day. This was a really good card. Sangin's always good. Is it still good? I don't know. Sangin's good. So with Wall of Illusion, I really liked all of the Dark Scorpion Brigade here. I have the whole team here, and their leader Donzalug is in my deck. He's an ultra rare, mustering of the Dark Scorpions. And there's good old Donzalug. We have this random Japanese card I got. Dark Door, Disc Jar. Oh, 7 Tools of the Bandit, Brigeki Break, and this weird little idol card. So those are just those random cards that I had. I think 7 Tools. I think my brother had the ultra rare version of 7 Tools of the Bandit. Then we have what I would assume was my sideboard, or cards that I was considering, or just kind of foil cards. So Penguin Soldier. I think the deck has 2 Penguin Soldiers. By the way, this is an old deck. There's probably a lot of banned cards, and the number of cards in here is probably not exact. This is gonna be a time capsule, man. Penguin Soldier got Royal Command. The deck is also a very anti-effect monster thing, but Royal Command actually affects ours too. And man, just look at these. Look at these old 20-year-old beat up sleeves, man. The cards themselves, they're still in decent-ish shape for being and they're kind of Grammy, honestly. Penalty Game. These ones I got in random booster packs after I played. I remember doing this and just kind of sleeving them up and sticking them in here because I opened these and I got them in back-to-back packs, and I'm oh, are ultra rares really easy to get now? I don't know. I actually don't know that. Here's a really beat to hell Karibo from a what starter deck is this? This is like the second Yugi starter deck or something. Nobleman a cross out, probably from the Joey starter deck. Some mystical space typhoons. We have a LON. Is that Labyrinth of Nightmares? There's a super rare Flame Princess. This is not a great card, but I put it in a sleeve because you know, she's cute. I like the art, man. I like the art. Isn't that awesome looking? I think it is. There's a Spell Vanishing, also a super rare. You can kind of get some of the foiling on here, and it has cool art because it's got like one of the magicians on there. Vampire Lady, Swords of Concealing Light, Exiled Force was actually another card that's not too bad. This was also a super rare if I remember right. And then Cliff was one of the Dark Scorpions. It actually was pretty good. I think Cliff was in my deck for a good amount of time. So let's actually look at the deck and see what we got going on, man. These sleeves are not good. Let's put that Penguin Soldier back on top. Penguin Soldier was like a sweet card. I don't know what's considered to be like a good card these days because I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in like a long time. So this is my deck. It was kind of based around the Dark Ruler Hades, or this edited version, Hades. If I remember, I'm going to put a copy of the Japanese version here, just so you can see. They edited out his like horns. He has horns, and they took it out and put these little balls on his head because they're like, oh no, I can't have him look too demonic, even though he's got a giant freaking skull on his chest, and he's named Hades. Well, they changed it to Hades. He's pretty cool though. He makes it so when fiends destroy face down dudes, the flip effect doesn't happen. Pretty sure that's what it does. Anyway, he's really good. He's like slightly worse than a summon skull. I have my OG Pot of Greed, Legend of Blue Eyes, Pot of Greed. You know what? Hold on. Let's get a little close up on the card action here. Yeah, this deck is all shuffled up too. It's not even in order. Here we have my original Metal Raiders Mirror Force. Not a first edition. Is my Pot of Greed a first edition? Doesn't say. So probably not, I guess. Here we have my Ring of Destruction. I don't know if these cards are worth anything, by the way. Back in the day, these are worth like a decent amount. Like, my deck was pretty good. I brought this to like store tournaments and stuff. So we got Pot of Greed, Mirror Force, Ring of Destruction. Got my OG Summon Skull, my Metal Raiders Summon Skull. So it's slightly beat up, but not too bad. Graceful Charity. This was one of the starter deck cards, I believe. Like, it's the Pegasus starter deck. I remember you could play with 2 of these in your deck, and then they reduced it down to 1. So I think I only have 1 of these in my deck. Here we have OG Monster Reborn, Legend of Blue Eyes Monster Reborn. Card destruction from the starter deck Yugi Ryoku Field. Use this to protect my monsters. Another one of my Penguin Soldiers. I think I have 2 in this deck. OG Witch of Black Forest from Metal Raiders. Got the Harpy's Feather Duster from the What's-Her-Face starter deck. The Harpy Lady starter deck. Dark Droid, just kind of another Fiend card. We have this Change of Heart, the starter deck, Pegasus Change of Heart. I had an ultra rare version of this, but I'm pretty sure I traded it for Call of the Haunted. Yeah, Call of the Haunted. Yeah, this card is really good because you could get like just a common version of this from a starter deck, but at the time you could not get a common version of Call of the Haunted. You can only get the ultra rare one, I believe. Archfiend Soldier has a 1900 attack, like I was saying. That's the sweet spot. I only have 1 of these, I think. Got an old school Magic Jammer from Metal Raiders. Like, this is my jam, man. This is my jam, man. Metal Raiders, Legend of Blue Eyes, Pharaoh's Servant. Like, those are the sets that I learned and played Yu-Gi-Oh on. MRL. Oh, what is MRL? This is the OG Ultra Rare Snatch Deal. I don't remember what MRL is. Because MRD is Metal Raiders. Oh man, the crustiness. There's so much like old crud on these cards. This is a Ceasefire. This is pretty like a good anti-flip effect. There's a lot of flip effect. Everyone was playing with flip effects back in the day. Magician of Faith, like Magician of Faith here. Metal Raiders. But I didn't want to like screw over my own dudes all that much, which is why I didn't put that Royal Decree. Got Don Zalug. I remember when I got this card. This is a first edition Don Zalug. I traded some good shit for this. This was like a big deal. Even though he's not very powerful, he has really good effects. This is my OG secret rare Pharaoh's Servant Imperial Order. Very, very good. This is kind of like a lockdown deck almost. Mystical Knight of Jackal. Didn't really go with the theme of the deck, even though he has like 2 tributes. He has a good effect. Any monster that he kills, you can put it back on top of your opponent's deck. So you can kind of just like get him. You can get him. Another Penguin Soldier, New Doria. I like the New Dorias because when they die, as a result of battle, they get to kill another monster on the field, which is pretty sweet. This is a Heavy Storm. Is this the... No, this is just the common version. Ooh, my Magic Cylinder. Yeah, man. This is a Legacy of Nightmares, I believe, is the set name. Oh, look at just the cruddy... Oh, my Beast of Talwar. This was another one of my like prized cards back in the day. OG Magic Cylinder. Like the Magic Cylinder, Ring of Destruction, and what was it? The Imperial Order. Those are like my good shit. Now, this Beast of Talwar, not as good as Summon Skull, but still pretty good. This is a Dark Hole. This is actually an OG printing, Legend of Blue Eyes Dark Hole. You can see the foiling on it. I did not have Regeki. I think that's the one that this deck didn't have. Didn't have the Regeki. My brother did. I did not. Mask of Darkness. We had a Dark Necrofear. This one I think was from like a promo pack or something. The promo pack Dark Necrofear. But I mean, it's a Fiend deck. Got to get your Dark Necrofear. Sangan. Really good card for the Fiend deck. I'm pretty sure I used to have a rare Sangan too. Wall of Illusion is great in this deck. Swords of Ruling Light. Is this the rare one? Nah. One of us had a rare Swords of Ruling Light too. It's like the super rare. Sinister Serpent. This is like one of my favorite cards of all time. I love this card because every turn you can bring it back to your hand. So you can use this for discard effects like Graceful Charity, or you can just use it as like a blocker. Yeah, I like Sinister Serpent a lot. Ooh, I really like Cyberjar too. Man, this deck was sweet. I really like the Cyberjar because it like blows up everything and then you get like you flip cards from the top of your deck. Got this Divine Wrath. I think it was the later inclusion into the deck. Yeah. Premature Burial. Pretty sure I used to have an Ultra Premature Burial too. I think I traded a lot of the stuff like the Premature Burials and stuff for like the Magic Cylinders and you know that kind of stuff. Man, the cards, they just stick together so bad. And look at this. This is a 20-year-old foil curl just sitting in that box in the chest for like 15 to 20 years. Man, look at it. That is absurd. Let's look at the last couple cards. They're not super exciting, but got the Premature Burial. Got your Soul Exchange from the original OG Yugi starter deck. Was this Kaiba or Yugi? Let me take a look. That's Yugi. Yugi starter deck. And then the New Doria. Got the 2 New Dorias for this deck. Man, I remember just taking this to... Oh, geez, the cards are so stuck together. I remember taking this to tournaments. And sometimes I'd play Magic. And, you know, sometimes I'd play Yu-Gi-Oh! I kind of grew out of Yu-Gi-Oh! But sticked with Magic. But this is still very, like, interesting to me. I wonder if any of these cards are worth any money. Like, is my Monster Reborn still worth any money? Or, like, my Imperial Order? My Pot of Greed? Not a first edition, though, so I don't know if that matters. My Donzalug probably isn't worth anything. Graceful Charity. My Magic Cylinder. Where's my other sweet ones? Like, my Dark Ruler was my favorite card. Like, straight up favorite card. Dark Ruler and any of the dudes that let me get stuff back from my graveyard, like Call the Haunted. Summon Skull was sweet. Like, actually getting a ultra rare Summon Skull. I think this one's like a little bit damaged, if I remember right. But, yeah. Getting, like, the Ring of Destruction. Hold on. Let's actually, like, pull out the Ring of Destruction so you can see the... Oh, jeez. The awesome foiling on that. Yeah, man. This is so much memories. If any of my viewers out there played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or still play Yu-Gi-Oh!, let me know what you think. I played some of the video games just to kind of play around with some of the newer, I'm going to use the word new pretty loosely, stuff. And I watched the anime up till like Battle City and the Egyptian God stuff. My brother actually had the Obelisk blue Egyptian God card, and we all were like, oh, is it a counterfeit or was it like a promo or whatever? There was a lot of like cool mystery back in the day, especially with like card games like this. But yeah, this is a fun video. Let me know if you'd like to see some more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff on the channel. I didn't think I'd ever actually do any Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but man, I just found my old cards and I had to look. I checked after I found these. I checked some of my places that I like to buy old cards and stuff, and I found some things that I might want to check out, maybe for the channel. Some like box sets that have like just pre-con decks, but the pre-con decks are like really cool and they resonate with me as like an old school Yu-Gi-Oh player. There's like Exodia decks and old school like Yugi decks and Egyptian God decks, and that's my jam. I've seen some of the new stuff like links, and I don't even know. I don't even know, but I like the old school Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Yeah, old school Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Anyway, if you like the video, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, maybe check out my Patreon. But regardless of what you do, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time for some more card game content. I'll see you later.